Hi and welcome everybody to this month's Stampin' Sunday blog hop. It's March 2023. The theme is Life is a Wild Ride. Okay, so I'm taking that really loosely, and my creations are going to feature a bee. You know, that's the wild side, and I'm going to do two fancy fold cards. That's kind of going wild for me. I never used to make lots of fancy folds, but I'm kind of getting into them a bit more now, and so I wanted to build up my repertoire. So I've actually cased these fancy folds from two other YouTubers, and I will put the link in the description to how, what they did, and I've just kind of adapted them for myself. So here I've got everything pre-cut just to make this video a little bit shorter. This is basically kind of like half a sheet of A4 and then scored at various places. I'm not even going to go into the details because, I want you to go and check out, I think it was Mitosu Crafts who I got this fancy fold from. And, these kind of like stepper cards have been around for a while, but this is like a really simple stepper card to do. So it's kind of wild, but not that wild because it looks wild, but it comes together really easily. So I'm using some papers from the, what's it called again? The Lovely in Linen Designer Series paper for this one. And I've pulled out I've looked at the colours that are featured in this paper set and then kind of matched it up accordingly. So the card base is pale papaya, and the colours that I've pulled out, like to cut out the bees and everything, is Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, which is such a gorgeous colour, which is they're leaving us very, very soon. So if you need to stock up, if they're your favourite colours, it's worth stocking up on those because they are going to be going very soon. Right, so this is the front panel. Then this is also a front panel, but this is the kind of stepper effect. So this just goes on here like so. I do love how bees are featuring more, just generally, I think in home decor, fashion and so forth. I think, making people aware of bees and their, importance to us is really good. So this is going to get stuck onto this section here to create this extra stepper. And what I really like about this design is that it looks kind of complicated, but it isn't actually that complicated at all. So you've got this, this long piece here that folds over. So when it comes to sticking this onto here, or you just need glue on this front section. I'm just going to flip that over and stick that onto the front there. And make sure it's kind of like parallel with the top there, like so. And then just put some glue across the back like that. So make sure that's stuck well. Now for the decor. So I cut out the lovely bee using Evening Evergreen, and I'm just going to decorate my cute bee here by putting some wings on here with the Soft Succulent. Like so. And then with that die set, you get the bee. That this actually cuts out the stamped image if you were to stamp it, but you also have these really gorgeous little florals, and I'm just going to make my bee look a little bit more feminine by putting a couple of flowers on here. And I've tried to match these up with the colours that are in the designer series paper. So this is Flirty Flamingo, and now this is Sweet Sorbet. I might just get that straight. There we go. That's straight. And I'm going to have the bee just sort of slightly offset from the panel, because I've obviously moved the panel slightly to the left, but the bee is actually going to be more central, but then hanging off the edge a little bit. So I'm just going to put glue onto the left side of the bee, and then kind of eyeball that. Oh, I could have probably put a bit more glue, but never mind. Like so. There we go. And then I've got a little tag here. Don't know where to put that central as well. Now I do have a spare little bee here, and I feel like I've got space up in this corner here, so I'm wondering whether just to put the little bee as if it's flying off like so. And then I've got my tag. Now the stamp set that I pulled out was here a second ago. Where did I put it? It's this one here called Shaded Summer, and it's got this really nice happy birthday, and I'm hoping that this is going to fit perfectly onto my tag there. So I'm just going to line that up so that it's parallel to the top there. Oh, let me grab my evening evergreen. Ink that up. Yay! Perfect. And then I've got these little sprigs of green that I've already cut out. And I thought it'd be nice just to have those coming away from my little tag there. Oh, where are my dimensionals? Oh, they seem to have disappeared. Okay, here we go. So to make my life a bit easier, I'm going to put dimensionals onto the back of here. I'm going to put a few, just move that over a little bit. Okay, I want a couple where I'm going to be having the sprigs. Put another couple there. And so because I don't want to do extra kind of gluing with the sprigs, I'm just going to put the sprigs exactly where I want them, and then place the label over the top. And because I know that I put loads of dimensionals, I know that will catch it fine. Just move that over a little bit more. There we go. And there you have it. Oh, got to remember to do that butterfly, the bee. Now that patterning you can see on the back of this bee is just from some washi tape that I didn't realise was on the back of my cardstock when I ran it through my machine. So there we go. How cute is that? And I'm just going to pop that one up in the corner there. All right, so that's card number 1 done. So it's a really super simple stepper card, and thank you. I think it was Barry at Mitosu Crafts who did the measurements and everything for that, and I'll do the link for you to be able to get the measurements for that one. I won't take credit for that, and I'm also not going to take credit for this next one, although I have adapted the measurements for centimetres. The measurements for inches are on Sam Calcutt's blog and YouTube channel. So she did this in inches, but I've just slightly adapted it myself. And I've pre-cut everything ready to go, and used that whole the same set of papers, but this time I've added country gingham to the mix. And although I don't think this set of papers feature, I think that's I think it's mint macaron. I think it is. I could be wrong. It kind of all matches anyway. Oh, I've just realised I think this is upside down. I'm going to just quickly whip that off, flip it around. There we go. And I don't know if this is supposed to be petal pink or a lighter pale papaya, but it's all in that kind of like peachy range. So, you know, you don't always have to match things exactly, you know, to the precise colours that are listed. But if you're able to, oh, I think I've cut that a little bit too small, but, or too narrow rather. I'm going to take that off. I'm just going to measure that again because I think I've cut that too small. Get my ruler out. So it's meant to be 3.5 centimetres, and I've done it 3. Oh, okay. Bear with. See, I do make mistakes. I do. It does happen occasionally. Now, what am I looking for? Oh, that panel there. Right, let's start again. So let's just cut a panel 3.5 centimetres by 14. Oh no! Oh, I should have cut it off the other end. Oh right, I'm going to have to completely change this now. Okay, let's see if I've got enough of this. Right, make sure I've got enough. So 3.5 by 14. All right, start again. Let's just put a little bit of glue on here. So what I wanted to have happen was have a lot of the kind of like the predominantly peachy colour in the back panel, and then have a mixture on the middle panel, which is why I kind of went for that one, but never mind, and then have going more red as it came forward. So this is another kind of stepper style card, but then with some extra squares that I'm going to stick on it, but in a more of a diamond formation. And it looks really spectacular, but it's actually super easy to make, really, really easy. So there we go. So that's the stepper aspect to it. All right, and then we're going to be sticking some panels onto there. Right, let's just go with the panels. So I've got, I'll just pop those to one side a second. I've got 3 evening evergreen squares here, and they measure 10 by 10 centimetres, 8 by 8 and 6 by 6. And as I said, the original measurements are done in inches, so I've just adapted them slightly. And for those of you who come to my channel quite often, usually you're used to seeing me stamp and create my own background papers. You're probably thinking, what's Ruth doing? She's not doing any stamping. Well, sometimes I really do enjoy using patterns that other people have created, and I love mixing and matching patterns to get the most out of each other. And I think sometimes when you do have a pack of paper and there's patterns everywhere, it can seem a little bit daunting to know how to place them against each other. So I'm hoping that this gives you a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of help, because I'm going to explain, you know, about contrast and stuff. So here we've got gingham style in the green, and I'm contrasting it then with a completely different colour. So this red is opposite green on the colour wheel, so it's, you know, couldn't get more opposite in terms of colouring really. And then that's got round and floral to it, whereas this is more square and gingham. And so what happens is, because you've got these completely opposite styles of paper sitting next to each other, it helps to show them up really beautifully. Right, so, oh, I think I want to just put my design on here first. So I want to put, I think I'm going to put I want to put the bee on the middle portion. So this is going to sit on the back. Then we're going to have this one here. and then we're going to have this one here. Okay, but I want that bee to kind of show up, and it does, I think. So I'm just going to pop that on there like so, and sort of fairly high up so that you can see it. Oop, no, don't move up. The glue is still a bit wet, so it's wanting to move. Now, if I'd been really pedantic, I could maybe have got this design to be a little bit more square on, but sometimes it's best not to have everything super symmetrical, because otherwise it can just look a little bit strange. So there's my lovely wings. Such gorgeous detail in this die set. And now, one of the questions I do get asked is, you know, do you always buy stamp sets and the dies together? And I don't always do that. Sometimes I might like a stamp set and not particularly be interested in the dies, but then sometimes I like both, or I like aspects of both. And then there are occasions where I actually prefer the die set and find the die set more usable, and I will buy the die set only, and not the stamp set. Right, so I was thinking of putting that there and having that as my sentiment to go over the top, and I think I'm going to go with exactly that same one again, the happy birthday, because it seemed to fit so beautifully inside that label die, which incidentally does come in that Queen Bee die set. So it's a Queen Bee stamp set, Queen Bee die set. I'm not using any of the stamps from it today, just the dies. So this is Evening Evergreen. Oh yes, I said that already. Okay, so let's pop a little bit of glue there, and I'm going to just put a tiny dab sort of in areas that are sort of thickest, really. And I don't want anything to protrude below. I want it all to be fairly high up. There was a little bit of protrusion there, but that's not too bad. Then I want to mimic that same sort of floral design again by having the Flirty Flamingo and the lovely lipstick. No, not lovely lipstick. Oh my goodness. Sweet Sorbet. I'm going back a couple of years with lovely lipstick. That was a colour that was around before. And although we are due a colour refresh this year, this is quite exciting. Every so often Stampin' Up! Do mix the colours up again and give us some new ones and say goodbye to some old ones. And some people find this very disconcerting, but I actually find it quite exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's have that happy birthday there. Oh, just okay. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Right, now to stick it all together. I am wondering whether I think I'll decide afterwards. I've got a little this left, and I'm wondering whether that would look nice on there, but we'll stick this down first. So this is going to be stuck on like so. So only need to put glue on the bottom triangle like so, and I'm going to meet the points up with the fold there, and then give that a good push down. Okay, and this one is going to go here like so. So this one, I know what, that's probably the easiest way to do it, is actually just to fold it, and then you can see that you've got an equal distance. So I'm just going to eyeball. I don't need the glue to come above that section there, so I'm just going to put glue along here. So Sam Calcutt is a British YouTuber, and she is renowned for her fancy folds and very, very explainable videos. She's very helpful. Not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, although occasionally I do see some Stampin' Up! Product on her videos. I think she must have Stampin' Up! Friends. But I do recommend you go watch her if you like fancy folds. Okay, so that last panel is going to go on here. Oh, hold on, just got to figure out where to put the glue. So there, so I'm just going to hold it, flip it, so I know not to go above that section. I'm just going to hold that all down, and it makes it so much easier to line it all up together when you've got your pieces like that. You see that lovely kind of arrow there. Give that a good push down. Okay. And there you have it. So cute. Love that. I was just going to burnish that a little bit more so it stays up. Okay. Oh, love the colours on this. So pretty. Right, so as I said, I've got this panel left over, this piece left over, and I'm wondering whether to pop that there, so that when you open it, you've got that kind of circular thing happening there. I think I may as well do that, because when it sits up, you do see it. The only thing is now I'm going to have to cut another little flower to stick on it, because you know, I've done it on all the others. I'm going to have to do it again, so I may just pause the video while I cut out another one to stick up here. So put that right in the middle there. Ooh. Just going to give that a bit of an extra squeeze. Oh, that is so cute. So cute. If you want to see better pictures, please do head to my blog post about this. The link will be in the description, and you'll be able to see that. Right, I'm just going to go and cut that extra flower and come back. Right, so I've cut my extra little flower to go on the top there, and I did wonder about putting a bee, but then when I looked at the whole card in its entirety, I thought actually it does make sense to have 3 flowers sort of running down the design. It does look good. And then the other thing that's left for me to do is just to put a little bit of embellishments on these. So I've grabbed out the brushed metallic adhesive dots because I just thought this sort of more antique-y looking dots would look lovely on the flowers. So I'm just going to add those to that. I think especially using this dark green, it just makes it look really cool. So they're really just simple. They're not too kind of like over the top flashy, and really like that. And then I might just add one of the larger ones into this one. I'm just going to audition, see if that one looks good there. No, it doesn't. We'll leave that. All right, so that was the brushed metallic dots. Then I used the queen bee dies. I used that lovely bit of greenery, the bee wings, the little bees, the 2 little flowers, and that little leafy sprig there to create these gorgeous cards. And then the linen papers. I know that's not the full title, but I'll put the link in the I'll put the information in my blog. So yeah, please do hop over to the blog and look at all the other hoppers in this blog hop and see what wild things they've been up to. I got wild with putting a bee on it, and also with my fancy folds. This is very new to me. This is a bit wild for me. All right, so I know that I've been experimenting recently making folio books and things like that, but so that's why I'm kind of trying to get into this sort of stuff, because I think it just makes card making, makes scrapbooking a little bit more interesting, a little bit more wild. So take care everybody, and see you again soon. Bye.